Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tony Talks, where I have conversations with inspirational leaders, influencers, and change makers, people that aren't just doing well in life, but that are doing good in the world. And today, I already have him on camera. It's the one and only Master Stephen Coe here with us again to share some of his knowledge, his wisdom, and some of his amazing meditations to help us connect with ourselves, with our bodies, with our spirit, and really get us in a very good state and tap into our energy and teach us all the great things that he does. So without further ado, here is Master Coe. Oh, and I will say, do ask your questions. And if there's something specific that you'd like us to talk about, or any questions that you have, or maybe a specific meditation that you've seen Master Coe do that you'd like to maybe for us to get into, we're here to accommodate and to share with all of you. And if you haven't done so yet, click share, invite your friends. We're streaming live to Facebook and YouTube and also to Instagram. So you can follow us on any one of the platforms right now. So with that said, thank you, Master Coe, for coming on one more time with us and to sharing, your knowledge, your wisdom, and the magic that you do. So thank you again for coming.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate the opportunity. These days, we were just talking about it before we got on, is people say, oh, I'm bored, I don't know what to do. And you and I were just chatting, go, what do you mean bored? Like, I'm busier now than I was before. And I think a big part of it is because with what we do, we actually are able to feed people information, empower them, so that even though they cannot physically move anywhere, energy is everywhere. And if they have the right attitude, the right emotions, they can be in the right mindset. So they're actually creating their reality from inside out rather than outside in. And that's one of the biggest lessons I think I personally have learned with this pandemic and all that stuff is, as I shared with you the last time when we were on this talk, is we have a tendency to put our focus on external things, right? You go concerts, you go to a game, you go to church, temple, you do everything's outside. And then when all those are just abruptly cut off or come to a screeching halt, you're going, now what? But in reality, we are relying our focus on outside when everything should start from the inside, going outwards, not the outside defining who we are. And I think most people who have that realization to go, oh, now what? They don't realize that this is a good time for you to literally go within, do some soul searching, get to know what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what are the insecurities I have that I need to get rid of, so that when this external world opens up again, then we can come out a different person, and we're using that time of isolation to really do our spiritual practice. Okay, what does that mean? A lot of people say, oh, I'm going to journey to the Himalayas, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go on a retreat. The question is, what the heck do you do that for? It's because right now, before this thing happened, we're so busy with everything we can touch, we can feel, how to be prosperous, how to be financially doing well, how to be famous, whatever. We're doing all these things. So when you go on a spiritual retreat, you're basically pulling yourself out of that environment in an environment where there's nothing. And so that forces you to go within and do some soul searching. And so you go to the Himalayas, you go to wherever, some isolated place. Well, guess what? You don't have to go anywhere. You're now isolated. So this is the perfect time to take advantage of that. And I noticed that I had the opportunity to be invited by many people like you, Tony, who are changing lives through the internet by the talks and inspiration, is because people are looking. And since there's things that they cannot touch, they're looking for things that they cannot touch. And the perfect thing for that is meditation. Because meditation is something that you don't have a choice. You just have to shut up and then turn off all external data that's coming in and search what's there. And that's when you get to know who you really are. So thank you, Tony, for giving me this opportunity.
Of course. Look, I think that it's so important because everybody's looking for happiness externally. And one of the things that I've found through meditation, and I'm putting more and more meditation into my life. I wish I started doing it and as a regular practice earlier, but I'm certainly doing that now Try to get it in daily, even if I don't have the meditation that everybody thinks about, where you just sit with your eyes closed with your hands on your lap. Sometimes it's just being in gratitude and just breathing, right, and just being alone. One of the things I talk about all the time, though, is that it's happiness is that it is an inside job. We need to go inside and find that happiness and be okay with ourselves. Matter of fact, I like to say I prefer to find joy than happiness, because happiness is usually tied to something, where if you can find joy and that inner peace, which we're all looking for, not to say I've found it, but I've seen glimpses of it at times, and it's so important. So absolutely, going inside is really the way to go. And now that we're all inside, it's an opportunity for us to go a little further in, right? So love it.
Well, it's interesting, Tony, that this is something that if you don't mind, I'll break it down a little more, because most people say meditation, what is it? Oh, I'm just going to be quiet. And if you think about it, most people, by the time you sit there and be quiet, thoughts start popping into your head, right? That's why, like, for example, we were in a UPW with 15,000 people, and everybody's jumping and excited. Then when we get to the meditation, if you remember, it's like you could hear a pin drop. So how do you go from to suddenly, right? And I think a big part of it is technique. And what I always was taught by my teacher, technique does matter. Because a lot of people say, oh, it's just intention. Yeah, you intend to be quiet. By the time you sit down, all the crap comes up, and then you go, okay, there goes my intention. So if you don't mind, let me just break it down in terms of technique, so you have something more tangible. And more importantly, if you have a technique, the results can be replicated. Make sense? Because if you don't have a technique, oh, I intend to be happy, but you don't know how to get there, you just experience it, go, oh, next time I intend to be this, but there's so many steps that you are not aware of to get there, then you cannot replicate the results. Okay? It's just like, what we do called pranic healing. And my teacher has spent many, many years doing research. By the way, for some of you who are new, pranic healing, Pranic, pranic comes from the word prana, not panic. I know some of you are panicking. It's called pranic healing. And pranic is comes from the word prana, which is Sanskrit for chi. You go to an acupuncturist, they stick needles into you, let the energy flow better. Okay? It's called prana, chi. Japanese is called ki. In Hebrew, I was told it's called ruach, or the breath of life. So many terms for it. This life force is something that affects all of us. It affects the way we think, the way we feel, how we interact with the world. It's the very fabric of the universe. It's invisible, at least for most people. But some of you notice sometimes when you're just relaxing, you look out the window, you see little bubbles floating around, right? And then when you focus on the bubble, they disappear. So they're not floaters in your eye. They're basically bubbles of energy or light. Or when you're relaxing, you're just looking here, and somebody's standing over there, you notice a glow in their head. The minute you go like this, it disappears. So that's the life force, the energy that flows through the universe. Anyway, my point is, my teacher, just to give credit, because I know nothing. Everything I know, I learned from my teacher. His name is Grandmaster Chua Kok Sui. He already passed on about 2007. And one thing that he did is he explained to me, he said, look, everything in the universe has a pattern, energy patterns. So if you want to get to a certain result, there has a pattern or a series of steps to get there. It's just like a recipe. So there's a recipe, quote unquote, to heal a certain ailment. When your body's healing from a certain ailment or disease, the body goes through a certain series of steps that's sequential to reach that result. If you want to have inner peace, it's the same thing. You don't just say, I'm going to have inner peace. Oh, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's because the times that it worked, there's a series of something that happened for you to get there. It's like a recipe. I want to cook this. If I don't have the recipe, my intention is to give you the biggest, the best meal in the world. But if I don't have the steps, I don't come up with something. But if I have the steps, even though I don't know what the heck I'm doing, if I can follow the right steps, I can have the same results. So that said, when it comes to meditation, you first have to understand, what is meditation? Meditation for most people is like being quiet. You're talking about the end result you're looking for. You're not talking about the technique to get there. So to break it down, the way my teacher explained it is something like this. You have meditation and you have concentration. And most people, they mix the two. They say, okay, I'm concentrating on inner peace. And then the minute you stop concentrating, thoughts pop into your head. You notice that? Because concentration and meditation are two different things on the opposite ends of the spectrum. So concentration is using your will. It's projecting. I'm focusing on something. Meditation is shutting up, and waiting for the data to come to you. It's just like the way he explained it to me was, if you go to lunch or you go to dinner, you don't just talk. At some point, you have to shut up and listen to the other person. So when you're chanting, some people do meditation, they chant. You cannot just keep chanting. You chant to reach to that frequency, then you be quiet so that you can receive the information or the benefit of that chanting. So when you do visualization, you're all doing the same thing. I'm visualizing light, I'm visualizing. The fact that you're doing something, you're concentrating. So it's a balance of yang and yin. So if I'm chanting Om or love or whatever you're chanting, after you chant, you have to stop and let the information come to you. So meditation is using the heart. You use the heart to be sensitive to what's coming to you. Okay? Concentrating is going out, meditation is receiving, going, coming. Okay? Now, the reason most people cannot be quiet is because they have this energy field. A lot of people call it the aura, and all that stuff. Now, for some of you who are very technical, I was an engineer by trade. So people say, yeah, but that airy fairy woo stuff about the aura, how do we know it really is there? So for some of you who are geeky or technical minded, let me help you out. To make it simple for you, it's something like this. In electronics, I was an electrical engineer. We were taught that if you have a circuit with a battery, with a light bulb on one end and a battery on the other end, the way the current works is based on what is called the right-hand rule. In other words, if this is the wire, the light bulb is here, battery is here, the direction of my thumb is the direction of the current. The way my finger curls around it is the direction of the magnetic field. You go, big deal. In reality, is how it works. If ever you go to an acupuncturist, if they want to put energy into your body, symbolized by this needle, they want to put energy into your body, they will twirl the needle clockwise. If they want to take energy out of your body, they go counterclockwise. Because the idea is, if you want to turn the magnetic field a certain direction, you'll push the current in that direction. Now, without being too technical, here in the US, we call it righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You take a screwdriver, if you want to screw it in, okay, no pun intended, you want to go clockwise, you want to loosen up, you go counterclockwise. Yeah? Now, energetically, if you look at Native Americans, when they're doing rain dance, same thing. If they want to clean the land of negative energy so they'll have a better harvest, if there's a fire, they do the rain dance counterclockwise because they want to extract the dirty energy out. If they want to bring the blessings into the ground, if this is the fire, look at my hand. They will dance clockwise around the fire to bring the spiritual energy down to bless the land. You go to India. Okay, a lot of us you're watching it from India. Every time you do a ritual, guess what you're doing? You do your chanting, your prayer, you have an altar. They walk around the altar or the temple clockwise. To do what? Because if you go clockwise, it brings the spiritual energy down. What's my point? It's as simple as this. If you can believe that current you cannot see going through a piece of wire will produce a magnetic field, yeah? Why is it so hard to believe that life current going through your body will also not produce its human electromagnetic field, we just simply call the aura? So this aura is like the bubble you walk around in. And this bubble is populated by our thoughts and our feelings. So to put it all together, if you take somebody off the street and say, okay, sit down, close your eyes, be quiet. As soon as you're quiet, that means you're not using your will. You're not concentrating. You go, okay, I just want to relax. Whatever's populating this bubble, be it happy thoughts, angry thoughts, somebody scream and yell at you, you're pissed off, whatever. These are like clouds of thoughts and emotions. The minute you're not using your will, whoosh, it floods your consciousness. That's why most people have an attention span less than 15 seconds. Now, here's the secret. If you want to have inner peace, you have to first do house cleaning. If you don't clean this crap out, I don't care how many years of practice you're going to have, you're going to be back to square one because now I can be a little quiet for 30 seconds. Now a minute. It's like the shortcut is if you hose everything down and it's quiet, you don't have to try to be quiet. It's the end result of everything being clean.
Right.
Am I making sense to you,
It
Tony?
makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if it's okay with you guys, we'll just guide you in certain technique so it's applicable. Because I always believe that teachings and information is great, but without applicable techniques, at least in my world, it's useless. Because it's nice to be inspired, but if I cannot replicate that results, for me, I throw it out the window.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's what I can use to change my life. Because your inspiration is wonderful and great, but if I can use it, I'll go somewhere else.
Right. Well,
So I
that's what
hope it's okay with you. We practice. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Practice is everything, right? Showing techniques. That's what we're here for.
Okay.
Oh,
So we'll do two things initially. First, we'll chant Om. You can chant whatever you like, but here's the thing: most people think Om is Hindu, but in reality, think about it. What are attributes of God? God is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. What's your problem with Om? And then when you talk to everyday people, when they're pissed off, they go, "Om, man!" At least they're chanting Om.
I love it.
And to go a little lower on the chakra level, when you're making love, when it's really intense, you go, "Oh my God!" So it's universal. Okay, got it?
Got it. Got it. I like that. I like that you made that connection.
Okay, so we'll start there because the mantra Om is something like this. If you do it in a certain manner, you're actually able to harness its cleansing properties. Okay, now I know some of you are new and this might be a little too far out, but I figured what's the worst thing could happen? Nothing happens. Best thing could happen is you have something you can use every day. Okay. So the way you do it is you put your attention on the top of your head. This is the input.
Right.
Your hands and your feet are the output. So essentially, what's happening is as you chant, you just imagine a liquid light coming down and it's going through your system and flushing all the impurities out of your hands and your feet. So you're doing this with sound, you're doing it with visualization at the same time. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to first, for about 10 seconds, observe your thoughts and emotions. Okay. I know this is kind of dead air, but it's important. Observe your thoughts and emotions. How quiet, how noisy. Any type of negative emotions come out, worry, cares, just observe it. So we have a before comparison. Some of you, yes, some of you go, oh, yeah, what's for dinner? What dinner, right? Okay, regardless. So this is our before. So what I want you to do is just gently press the top of your head, press the center of your palms, sit straight. If you're laying down, get up. You can't do this laying down. You're just going to fall asleep. Okay? Put your hand like this. Keep your, no, you don't keep your tongue on your palate because you can't chant with your tongue on your palate. Okay, like this. Focus on the top of your head, your hands and your feet. Okay? We're going to chant Om 9 times. We'll do it 3 times first together, and then the next 3 times, and the third one, I'll do it for you. You just follow silently. I'll explain all of this to you later. Okay, ready? Just relax. Keep your mouth open. Relax. Your face is relaxed. Your entire body is relaxed. Now imagine a brilliant light pouring down your crown. The color is not important. Just brilliant light. Whatever comes to mind is good. I'll explain all that later. Now that brilliant light is pouring down your crown, and your body is hollow, like basically an empty bottle. That brilliant light's coming in, going to your brain, your face, your entire body, your internal organs, your bones, your muscles, and just pouring out of your hands and your feet. Okay? Keep that image as long as possible, and let's chant together. Om. Feel the vibration go through with that electrical current. Om. 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 Now just be still. Just listen to my voice. Continue being aware of that brilliant light going to your body. Om. 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 Now just be still. Close your eyes. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Just lower your hands on your lap. Just be still. The brilliant divine energy is pouring down to your crown. Any negative thoughts, negative energies in your crown center are disintegrated, extracted, expelled properly. The liquid divine light is cleansing your brain, breaking up any blockages and negative thoughts and emotions, either self generated or from other people. These are disintegrated, extracted, expelled properly. The liquid divine energy is pouring down into your brain, into your eyes, your nose, your mouth, and your neck, and your throat. Any blockages, any impurities of energy are dissolved, disintegrated, released now. The brilliant divine energy is pouring down into your chest, into your heart, your lungs, your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, down your hands. All negative energies, any lower vibrations are dissolved, disintegrated, extracted, expelled. The liquid divine energy is pouring down into your stomach, your liver, your spleen, your gallbladder, your intestines, your kidneys. Any blockages or low vibrations are dissolved, disintegrated, extracted, expelled properly. The liquid divine energy is pouring down to your hips, your thighs, your knees, down out of your feet. Just be receptive. Just imagine this beautiful river of light pouring down, the secret word, through you. It's just a pipeline allowing this energy to flow through. And just listen to my voice. Om. 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 Now just be still. Okay, just be still. Your hands should be in the lap. Just sit comfortably. All you have to do is put your gentle attention in 5 areas: the top of your head, your hands, and your feet. That's it. Just keep your tongue in your palate. Everything else will be done for you. Just be still. Any blockages are now released out of your hands and your feet like gray smoke. Just let it out. Any type of anger, resentment are dissolved, disintegrated, and flushed out. Maintain your stillness, maintain your awareness. We'll do the meditation twin hearts, the one we always do in all the big UPW events. And if you've heard us before, it's a meditation that allows the love within you to blossom, to connect with spiritual love and share it with everyone. Okay, raise your hands like this. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. First, imagine someone you love very dearly in front of you. Smile. Look at that person in front of you that you love. From your heart, imagine beautiful pink light pouring through your hands, just from your heart, pouring out like this. Flood them with this pink light. And just say, from my heart to yours, I shower you with love and much affection, unconditionally. And just literally smother them with loving energy. Feel it and share it. And if you're sensitive, you might feel a slight feedback of that love coming back to you. That's beautiful. Now be aware of your crown, the top of your head. This time, imagine beautiful liquid golden light from the top of your head pouring down through your hands. Fill this person with golden light. And just say, may you be blessed with inner peace and divine love. And just flood them with golden light. Good. Now we'll share this love not just with one person, but the entire earth. So imagine the earth the size of a little ball, like a little globe, and this person you love is just one of billions of people on earth. Now we'll repeat the same thing. Be aware of your heart. Fill the earth with golden light. Fill the earth with beautiful pink light. Just flood the earth with pink and gold. All right, just keep your tongue in your palate. Now, be aware of your heart and your hands. Fill the earth with beautiful pink light. We will use the prayer of St. Francis, which is a universal prayer. It just basically allows us to be conduits and pipelines for this love. So fill the earth with pink light to the universal spirit, Lord, whoever you call to, make me a channel and an instrument of peace. Wherever there's hatred anywhere in the world, let me sow divine love. Bless the people you love with peace, with love. People you know who are going through difficult times that are fighting, emotionally stirred up, fill them with beautiful pink light. Fill them with peace and with love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Bless the people who've been hurt by us, intentionally or not. Fill them with beautiful pink light and just say, sorry, I've learned from my mistakes. Thank you for your forgiveness. Then imagine the people who have hurt us. Fill them with beautiful pink light. All of us are growing and evolving, and evolution involves time, process, and a lot of screw ups. We've had our share. So if you want to be forgiven, so do these people. As your heart fills with more beautiful pink light, flood them with pink energy. And just say you're completely forgiven. Go in peace. May you be blessed with peace and love. And may you also learn from your mistakes and spiritually grow. So be it. Continue flooding the earth with beautiful pink light. Especially in these uncertain times, think of all the people who are affected. The patients, a lot of the people who are in the front lines overworking and sacrificing their health, their time. Bless them with hope and with faith. Where there's doubt, let me sow faith. Where there's despair, let me sow hope. So flood them with hope and faith and a better tomorrow. And where there's darkness, let me sow light. And sadness, let me transform it into joy. Allow your entire being to simply be a pipeline to bless your family, your friends, the people you work with, the city you live in, the state, the country. Let the entire earth be just flooded with beautiful pink light, flooded with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope, with faith, with light and lots of joy, lots of inner joy. So be it. By now, some of you might feel your hands tingling or a little pressure. That's natural, energy's flowing. Now be aware of your heart. Gently take a breath, lift it up, go to the top of your head, exhale. Again, gently from your heart, inhale that love, lift it up to the top of your head, exhale. And gently once more, be aware of your heart, inhale, go to the top of your head, exhale, and stay there. Just be still. You'll probably feel a slight tingling or pressure in your head. That's your crown opening up more. Now, that beautiful crown is generating massive amounts of golden light. Let that golden light just pour down through your hands. And first, imagine people you love. Fill them with that golden light. Your relatives, your friends, the people you work with, just fill them with golden light. Let it spread to the city you live in, the state, the country, and ultimately let it spread throughout the entire earth. From the heart of all loving God, through my soul, through my entire being, may every person on earth, every being on earth be blessed with unconditional love and kindness. Let all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. May all be blessed, especially all the people being affected right now. Bless the patients. May they be healed. May the caregivers be empowered, be divinely protected. May all the people in the service industry, the delivery people, the people who take out the trash, the people who serve in the restaurants and the groceries, everyone, flood them with golden light. We might not be able to be there physically for them, but we can continue to flood them with divine love and divine healing energy. So be it. Now, be gently aware of your heart and your crown at the same time. Take a deep breath and exhale and visualize even brighter golden light pouring out of your hands. Flood your family, your relatives, friends, everyone you know, and let that beautiful golden light spread throughout the entire earth. From the center of the heart of all loving God, through my entire being, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with unconditional love and kindness. Let all be blessed with inner peace, inner healing, and for a lot of people right now, physical and financial healing. May all be blessed with goodwill and especially the willingness to do good and help others. We are one big family. We are our brother and sister's keeper. Let that divine love within us extend to every person we know. May all be blessed with peace, love, and kindness. So be it. So be it. And so it is. And with your eyes still closed, tongue still in the roof of your mouth, gently lower your hands on your lap. Now, this time, imagine a beautiful golden flame floating above your head. Be aware of the love within your heart. Now, send that love from your heart up to the crown and into that golden light. And stay there. Your entire awareness is now completely inside that golden light. It's like your entire body, your thoughts, your emotions are now completely melted into that golden light. You're swimming in that golden light. You're seeing the entire world through that golden flame. Just be still. Om. Be aware of that space, that nothingness before the next Om. Just allow your attention to just slide and drift into that empty space and stay there. Om. Your awareness and your attention are now completely in that empty space and feeling it. Be still and allow your attention to drift deeper and deeper into that stillness and into that nothingness now. Om. Be still. Be aware of that silence and just simply let go and let things be now. Let go. Any sound, any noise you hear will just gently allow you to go deeper and deeper into that stillness now. Let go. Gently, ever so slowly, gently move your fingers and your toes. Just very gently come back to your physical waking consciousness. Take your time. Now, gently follow me, raise your hands again. The purpose of this is to release excess energy our bodies cannot handle and use it to bless people we love again. Okay? Yep. If you figured it out, a big part of this meditation is giving. So, first, imagine your people you love, your family, your friends, just fill them with lots of golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, especially at this time, good health, happiness, prosperity and abundance, and spiritual connection. Bless your job, your career, with success, with progress, with abundance and prosperity and divine protection. Bless all the people you know, especially the loved ones and friends who are going through difficult times. Visualize their life getting better, fill them with golden light. So be it. And let's remember our beloved Mother Earth. So aim the golden light down to your feet, fill the earth below you with golden light, and just verbally repeat after me. Let our beloved Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let our beloved Mother Earth and all her children be blessed, be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings be to all. So be it, so be it, and so it is. All right. Now open your eyes. So let's take that test again. Keep your eyes open instead of closed, open. And we'll just be quiet for a few seconds. Observe your thoughts and emotions.
Amazing. Stillness.
Blank. Right?
Yeah.
So the technology is very simple. When you chanted Om, you're breaking up all the negative thoughts and emotions, flushing it out. When you do the meditation Twin Hearts, when you do the blessing, what people don't realize is this: as you allow yourself to be the conduit, the pipeline, that energy has to flow, the magic word, through you. So it's just like you have a dirty pipe. The most effective way to clean that pipe is to run high pressure water through it. So as you focus on blessing your loved ones and friends, blessing the earth, you're allowing yourself to be that pipeline for this waterfall of light to flow through. And guess what? As it's flowing through, it scrubs your pipes and releases all the blockages and the negative energy. So you don't have to try to have inner peace. Inner peace and clarity is the end result of everything cleaned out. And you get to help people. What else do you want?
That's all. Listen, it's always great to, just lower the volume on your phone a little bit.
If you higher, lower?
On your phone, lower the volume on that phone that you have recording. Picking up the volume.
It's off. Yeah, I know my phone's off.
So maybe that's me.
I think that's you.
Okay. So yeah, it's always great to just slow down your mind and come down. I mean, it's always a highlight at any of the events when I get to hear you live, and there's so many people get to hear you live, and certainly the recordings are amazing as well. But it's just different when we're doing it together. So thank you for that. That was amazing. Everybody, give me a thumbs up. Give us some thumbs up. Give some love here to Master Co for that, because that was really beautiful, and we all need it at this time.
And if I can just add, Tony, don't mean to interrupt you, is you brush your teeth every day, not because your teeth are dirty. It's hygiene. You take a shower every day. Well, some people don't shower because of the isolation. But my point is, when you have a routine of doing something, you're brushing your teeth, you're washing yourself, not because you're filthy. It's hygiene. So we pay attention to physical hygiene, but we don't pay attention to energetic hygiene. So when you do your meditation every day, it's like taking a shower every day. You don't wait till you're stressed out, you're angry, you're pissed off, and you're about to become homicidal, right? You want to clean stuff out so you're maintaining that energy level. And that energy level is directly related to your clarity of mind. Because the way you look at the world, your energy field is like your windshield. Or if you're from Europe, they call it windscreen. And so if your windshield and windscreen is populated with stress, negative energy, it's very difficult to be positive, because every time you look out, that's what you see.
Yeah.
But if you make it a ritual, right? Every single day, do you practice your meditation? Then you don't have to try to be positive, because everything is so clear. You see things clearly, and you choose to be positive. So I hope that helps.
I love the analogy. Keep your windshield clean. It's mental maintenance at the end of the day, right? It's just keeping your mind clear and your energy field clear. There reminds me of a story of a woman that she would look out of her window. This is, in the olden days when, you used to wash your clothes by hand and hang them out to dry. And the woman would look out and always criticize her neighbor. Look at her. She doesn't even know how to do her laundry. Her clothes are always stained. And look, her house is always dirty. And this went on until finally, and I apologize for messing up this punchline, until finally she opened the window and she realized that the neighbor's laundry was indeed clean. What was dirty was her own window, because she was looking at someone else through a dirty lens, but it was her own dirty lens. So sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, kind of clearing our windshield or clearing our windscreen or clearing our mind of all the negativity is just as important, because those are the filters that we look at life, right, through the lenses that we wear. So many times they're dirty. So many of us have so many tainted lenses anyway, just from life's occurrences, that we need to clear that stuff out as well. But the daily maintenance of meditation is absolutely amazing. Which, by the way, I'm going to put in a link. I've got a link here for everyone to go to get some free meditations that Master Co is going to has so kindly offered to us. So I'm going to put it in here before I forget. So here we go. I'm going to put it in there, share it with everyone, so that everybody can have the benefit of. Certainly, you can watch this episode that we've done with Master Co and the previous one to get amazing meditations. But here's a few more that you guys can look at. So I want to because I ask people for questions, right? So I want to honor that and ask a couple of questions here. See if
Okay.
I can shed a little bit of light. Hold on here. And I'm not seeing it now, but I know that Anne Marie was asking if there's anything specific she can do for her migraines and for the headaches that she has. Is maybe it's just cutting cords or just clearing.
Well, a big part of migraines, as far as energy, okay, I'm not a doctor, so I can prescribe what to do medically. When it comes to energy centers, most people think a migraine headache, the problem is blockages in the head. Actually, it's not. In fact, I know a person who many years ago, she took one of our classes and she told me, he says, "Oh, I was working on this lady. I was going to do some pranic healing on this lady who had, lady or a guy, who has 14-day straight migraine headache." Could you imagine waking up with a headache, going to bed with a headache, 14 days? And part of the reason why the headache keeps getting worse and extended because every healer came by and started putting their hands on his head and want to give him healing energy. Well, anybody who has had a congestion, you know that your head is heavy. So that means there's too much stuff there. And so what we usually tell people is the secret to healing migraine is not putting energy in the head, it's taking the blockages out. And it starts at the solar plexus in your midsection. And because of that block, just imagine your body's like a pipe. It goes to the midsection and bounces back up. So your head is like bulging out like a big balloon. So what do we usually tell people? Again, I know a lot of you haven't taken classes yet, so it's kind of hard to go through the technique, but I'll give you something you can use. Is when you're taking a shower, get some salt, fine salt, put some lavender oil, okay? Salt and lavender oil, just put it into almost like a paste. You rub it on your solar plexus area, and then if you put it in a towel, put it on your back solar plexus, directly behind. Your solar plexus is directly below your sternum. You put it there, let it sit for a while, put it back there for a few seconds, and then you wash it off. Because once you remove that blockage, most people will notice, hey, how come I'm not so stressed out? So as you remove that block, it starts to drain. I mean, that's oversimplifying it. But for a lot of you, that'll make a difference. Even if you don't have a migraine, just for stress, that will work. And another thing you can do is you can take your hand like this. Imagine you have white gloves and just start sweeping the dirty energy. Like imagine the pain is like a block, like gray clouds, sweeping it like this and throwing it down into the earth. And we call that in pranic healing sweeping. And the funny part is, if you meet anyone from India, they will tell you that a lot of the grandmothers, if the children are sick, they actually take a physical broom and start sweeping them like this because of that sweeping method. It's just in pranic healing, we use our hands. Now, in the Philippines, a lot of them, the shamans, if you have a problem, he comes in or she comes in, use a banana leaf and start doing that on you. And Native Americans, guess what they use? The shaman uses a feather. In our case, we just use our hand. So that cleansing, always remember, a migraine, it's not something you need energy. It's because you have too much energy blocked in certain places. So this cleansing would really help. And for some of you who don't know what I'm talking about, just the salt with the lavender will work wonders. Or you take a salt water bath. That also helps.
I'll also say, and I don't know if you have them available on your website, but you've got a soap that you use that you sell as well. I don't know, is that on your website?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's we always run out of them because the crew always.
I know. This is how I get mine. Right when I see you at events, I stock up. So is it on the same website that I put up the link a little while ago?
No, it's there, but we can point you to it. We can point you. Just go there, and then we'll point you to the website.
Fantastic. So a couple of other questions. Orlando asked, "Is music necessary for meditation?" I think we've just kind of answered that by virtue of the way we just did the meditation.
Well, if you want, just to kind of clarify, because if it's something in people's minds, should I or just?
Yeah, please.
Oh, okay. It depends on what you're trying to do, and depends on the audience we're talking to. So, if I'm talking to the general public who their mind is all over the place, the purpose of the music is to allow that monkey mind to at least put their attention on the music, and the music will try to, since the music is a certain rhythm, right? If you're in music, certain rhythm, certain tones, so on and so on, to kind of, instead of all over the place, to bring him to that place. Okay? Now, you'll notice in our meditations, we don't use music, but the CDs and all that stuff my teacher uses, that's for the general public, there's always music. And when I'm UPW, we always have music because, again, you cannot expect someone to be quiet because your mind's all over the place. So music is important if you're starting from a place where person cannot focus. It kind of gently nudges them to a place of calmness. Then you can take it up in vibration. But in our case today, we didn't need music because all we did when we did a chanting of the Om, that alone broke up a lot of the negative thoughts and emotions. By the time we're done, we didn't do the meditation. A lot of you going, it's quiet. So music is important depending on the audience. But once you can get to that stillness, at some point, music can be a distraction. So it depends on where you're at. So deep meditation, you want it quiet. And here's the best news of all. Once you can experience that quietness and that stillness, that peace within you, here's how you test it. You can be in the midst of people screaming and yelling, and by an act of will, you can say, I'm going to retreat within. You can scream and yell and be noisy. Won't affect me because the stillness I have is mine, didn't come from you. That's what you call inner strength.
Love it. Love it. So Liba mentioned here before you had mentioned about cleaning house. How important is it? Just because I speak about it often that you've got to declutter, not just you've got to declutter your mind, you've got to declutter your house, you've got to declutter your office, your desk, you've got to declutter your life.
So that's the physical side, which is very, very important because physical and the energy side work together. Now, on the energy side, it's something like this. If you take a white cloth, you dip it in red, a cup with red dye, you pull it out, it's going to turn red. Yeah. Or another way to look at it is like this. How important is the quality of the water in an aquarium to the health of the fish? Super critical.
Super.
You and I are the fish.
Right.
Okay. So you could be clean energetically, emotionally. Oh yeah, I'm doing good. You notice you go to a certain place, you go, you feel like you're going to throw up. It's because your energy might be clean, but if the environment isn't, at some point it seeps in. So it's just as important to your house, especially your bedroom, to be energetically clean, because when you're trying to rest, you're not using any will, so you're in a passive state. So whatever is floating around energetically will affect you. That's why you notice if you had an argument with a family member or a loved one or a boss or whoever in a certain place, once you're done with it, whether settled or not, for some reason, when you meet up at that place and you're not really angry with each other, somehow people are testy because there's a floating cloud of those negative thoughts and negative emotions there. So the question is, how do you clean it? Now, there are many, many ways to do it. One of the ways that a lot of you are aware of is using incense. Now, it's something like this. It's not just any incense. It has to be correct ones. Now, a lot of you know about sage, right? When you use sage, sage actually energetically has green, blue, and violet energy. In India, they like to use sandalwood. Sandalwood emits green energy. Or if you're Roman Catholic, before the Mass, you have this kid going like this, and the priest walks behind him to the altar. That's frankincense. Now, I don't know how much time. No,
you're good. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Now, you'll notice that in a big Mass, you always have the kid going, or kid or adult going like this, right? You know why? Because when people enter the church, they're carrying all these clouds of junk and crap in their aura. So at the start of the service, whatever service, it's like the entire church is filled with psychic pollution. Okay? So symbolically as well as energetically, when the priest is going to the altar, they do all this stuff to clear a path for the priest to get there. That's part one. Part two, you will notice that in most healing services, church services, you first do a lot of singing and chanting, right? You know why? Same thing. Because if the preacher, priest, or whoever is officiating start speaking about spirituality and love, that windshield is dirty. So you're not going to listen to the guy. So the chanting, the singing, the praising, all that, it's not only lifting your vibration, it's flushing out all the crap. That's why in feng shui, a lot of you have heard of feng shui, how to position your house. Your feng shui in Chinese, feng means wind, shui means water. It describes the fluidic nature of energy. And one of the rules in feng shui is, do not have your front door facing a church or temple. And most people say, why not? It's a holy place. Because the first half hour of every service, you got gray smoke coming out the door. And if your house is facing it, all the crap is going to your place.
Right. Wow.
So the cleansing is done through one is incense, and some people they use chanting. Now, let me back up a little bit. And we usually teach this in the class. A lot of you are interested in essential oils, right? I mean, some of you are getting into it. So, a little inside tip for you. And here's what you do. You have your diffuser. I think you call it diffuser, right? So here are the oils you can use to purify your place. Because sometimes if you incense the place, if somebody has respiratory issues, they can't handle the smoke. So the way you do is like this. Here are your choices: lavender oil, eucalyptus, sage. Not all together. So, for example, you have a diffuser, you have a candle, whatever. You put the oil there. As that smell goes through the room, it also breaks up the negative energy, raises the vibration. You try it in your bedroom. You can try lavender, sage, sandalwood oil. Any of those would work. Don't use rosemary. Rosemary is stimulating. You put that in your bedroom, you wouldn't be able to sleep.
Okay.
Okay, so those are just little things to clean your place.
But what was the other? So lavender, sage, and sandalwood for the bedroom.
Yeah,
And what was the other?
you can use frankincense too. These are oils, and you just light one or put it there and let the smell go through. Give it maybe 20 minutes to 30 minutes. You'll notice the room feels lighter. And most people walk in and go, "Oh, it feels light." When I travel so much, well, before this, I'm in a different hotel room every weekend, and I have no idea who slept there and what kind of junk they left there. Right? That's why sometimes you lay down, and go, ugh. So what I do is these things, and maybe this will help you guys. One, I stopped using incense because sometimes the hotel people complain you're smoking. Okay, so I usually use the oils. I turn off the vent, I splash the lavender oil, and I turn on the vent. So when the vent turns on, the fan will fill the room with it. In 10, 15 minutes, the room is clean. That's one way. Another way is we have a CD of my teacher chanting Om. So what I do is when I'm down in the meeting room teaching, in my bedroom, in the sleeping room, I have my speakers with an iPod playing Om, aim at the pillows. So for several hours, I have it repeated, just cleaning up my bed, because by the time I get back, the room is clean because I let it use sound or I use the energy of the oils to clean the room. So I hope that helps you guys.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. Love it. See if we have any more questions here. Okay. Amber in here. Oils, lavender, eucalyptus, sage, frankincense.
I
James,
know I speak fast. Sorry.
okay. James says that's often I feel like you just created a magic spell with the different oils.
By the way, for some of you who have studied a lot, you know what a spell is? There's so much drama. Oh, it's a spell. A spell is nothing more than concentrated thought or emotion that affects the way you think and the way you feel, or affects other people's thoughts or emotions. That's all a spell is.
Awesome. Awesome. Amanda's asking, well, wait, that would just snuck in there. Thank you so much. Really makes sense. I'm living in a dirty cage, so to speak. I don't have a diffuser going, but I'm going to get one. Lavender, eucalyptus, sage, frankincense, not all at the same time. That helps so much. I'll get back to Tony how that helps me. Yeah, and then I'll share it with you. Amanda was asking, where can we find the Om chanting?
Okay, we have it in our website. Anyway, you put it there. We'll just point you to it afterwards. Or you can go to pranichealing.com. Either one. Either way, you go to we have a bookstore and you just basically play it. Now, a little advice, warning. A lot of people say, oh, it's good cleansing. Let me play it, while I'm trying to fall asleep. For some who like it, for a lot of people who won't. Because at first it cleanses, you feel lighter. And you keep playing, it actually energizes the room. So when you play it to clean the room, don't do it during bedtime because it will stimulate stuff. Okay? Now,
you have a good one to go to sleep to, because that's the one that, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, true. So you just do it before you go to bed. Then when you're about to go to bed, turn it off. Otherwise, it's awesome. At some point it can become stimulating. Now, if let's say you don't have access to these things, we always want to give you tools, but at the same time, we want your technique just in case you don't have to buy anything, whatever, everything's within you. Here's what you could do. So let's say you have a room that's energetically not clean and you don't have any of the stuff we just mentioned. The simplest way to clean a room is like this. You tap your crown, just like you did a few minutes earlier, you did meditation. You put your hand like this and you verbally chant Om. It cannot be silently because you need to use sound waves. The sound waves carry the cleansing energy. Okay? Now, as you chant Om, you visualize violet light purifying the place. So you're chanting and visualizing at the same time, so you get the best of both worlds. And you do that for like 5-10 minutes, you feel great, the room will feel lighter. So I hope that helps.
Oh, fantastic. Hold on. The question in here is Maria asks, how do we do a cleansing bath? I know we already spoke about the soft salts or and lavender to put on your solar plexus and on your back. But if you want to run a bath, what would you recommend?
Okay, the cleansing bath, we actually teach this in the class. I know some of you are going to get shocked when I tell you. Just keep an open mind. You put around 1 to 3 pounds, not cups. Some people, oh, I put a little cup. Are you kidding me? Your tub is like 40-50 gallons. One little cup is not going to do anything. So the way you do, you take 1 to 3 pounds of salt. Now, a lot of people say, what kind of salt? You can use any salt. A good one would be sea salt. And if it's in your budget, use Dead Sea salt or Himalayan salt. That has more energy, okay? And the secret to the whole thing is as simple as this. You take the salt, you put lavender oil or tea tree oil or sage oil, not all together, just any one of those. So I have this salt, put 20-30 drops of this lavender oil, and you put in the bath, and you lay there for like 20-30 minutes. Then you get up and shampoo and whatever else you do. So the purpose of that is to basically, as you're laying down there, a lot of the blockages in your energy field are loosened up and released. Okay? So in ancient times, they call that baptism from the, I think, Greek or Latin word baptizo, meaning to immerse. And when you do that, it's like you're doing a purification using water. And little advice, don't do it in the morning, do it close to bedtime. Because if you do it in the morning, you get out and you have to go to work, you'll be so relaxed, you'll be useless. So do it before you go to bed.
Well, Stanley asked a question, what name of that salt? I think that was the Dead Sea salt or the pink Himalayan salt, right?
Yeah. I personally use, I'm cheap. So I use Home Depot water softener salt. 50 pounds, $4.
Nice. Well, listen, if it works, right? So
yeah, as long as it works. But some people, they want it exotic. Hey, go for it.
What oil do you put in? Do you add any oil to the bath?
Yeah, lavender oil. You can switch it up. Lavender oil, or not anda, lavender oil, which is violet energy, or tea tree oil, which is green energy, or sandalwood oil, which is green energy, or some people use sage oil, which has all three, green, blue, violet, and you'll feel great.
And how much would you put in a bathtub?
20-30 drops the most. Don't put too much, because if you put too much, it burns your skin.
Okay, great. Somebody just type that in, which is great, because that's what I want. I wanted somebody type it in because again, sometimes we speak fast and it keeps going.
Yeah, it sounds Chinese. I know some people say you speak like I speak Chinese. No, it's
no, it's all good. Listen, I'm used to listening to other languages, so I always pick it up. I just don't retain it sometimes. Let's see. This makes a lot of sense. Cleansing rooms. Hold on. Let's see. Cleansing rooms I just moved, and parts of this house feel really different to me. How long can other people's energies be left in a place? And as in, could one place trigger you to more anger or stress, I guess?
Yeah. It's, again, you're the fish. The room you're in is the aquarium.
Yeah. So listen, that's a good metaphor, because again, in life, you need to clear your life. You're not just your energy. You need to clear everything in your life. That's certainly something that I'm working on, and my wife will remind me with the honey-do list, the garage and this and that and the other thing. But it's so true. When we have too much clutter on our desks, it's hard for us to function effectively. When we have too much clutter in our minds, it's too much. When we have too much clutter in our lives, we wind up living in more stress than is really healthy for any of us. So I love the fact that to do the daily meditation, and the cool thing is some of your meditations that you have are only 10 or 15 minutes. It's not, you don't have to dedicate 45 minutes of an hour to do it. So certainly something that I've gotten into more and more, and I appreciate it. Let's see if there's any other questions here. So
can I add something while you're just going through that? Earlier you said about, remember the windows, the windshield? And just something for some of you to really think about. The eyes are the windows of the soul, and the eyes are the windows to the soul. And so what people don't realize is when you do your spiritual practice, your meditation, it's not even about your religion, it's your spiritual practice, okay? Oftentimes, because of such clarity, when you look through someone's eyes and listen to the words I'm saying, not look at the eyes, but look through the eyes,
Mm.
you get to see who the other person is, and that person gets to know who you are. And a lot of times people are looking for connection. I'm connecting with someone, blah, 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 so on, so on. They don't realize if you clean that window, you get to see who's behind the window. If
Mm.
your window is dirty, all you see is your own dirt.
No,
And meditation is one of the tools to clean that window.
that's it.
Something to
Clean
think
that
about.
window, guys. I love it. I love the analogies today. I love the analogies. We hit a couple of them. So that's awesome. I love it. Clear your tank. Somebody's asking, could you use peppermint oil, or is it too stimulating, I guess, in the bath?
Peppermint is to calm you down. Peppermint is blue energy. That's why people use it for headaches.
Mm.
It's blue. It does not clean. It just calms.
Awesome. Eyes are the windows to the soul. And somebody just asked, is Epsom salt okay to use?
Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. That's why a lot of people with aches and pains, they take Epsom salt baths because it dilates, so the more blood flows through, and also, but it does not clean as well as regular cheap salt.
Awesome. So someone also asked, how often could you do that cleansing bath?
Depends on how much junk you go through. I mean, this day and age, if you're fine, you're quiet, then fine. But if let's say you're a healthcare practitioner, you see a lot of patients, and you could really feel that as you help people, a lot of stuff is coming off them, then you take it as often as needed.
Okay, got to tell my wife, she's a nurse, so I got to tell her, make sure she jumps in every day after work.
It definitely helps. I know a lot of our students are healthcare practitioners, and they said that's a big part of their energy hygiene. They do it at least 2 times a week, because it's just like one of those things where you come home, you just can't wait to get out of those clothes, but you still feel something hanging on, something intangible. That's because of the energy floating. And you take a saltwater bath, and then meditation is just like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. So listen, I'm going to also remind everyone, because you were talking about cleansing the room, cleansing everything else, cleansing your bedroom. The one thing I'm just going to remind everybody, because somebody in here just mentioned Corona and everything else, I'll just remind everyone, do not leave your TV on if you sleep with your TV on, by no means should you have the news channel on while you sleep, because you want to talk about some bad aura and bad energy kind of going around, because your mind is listening, even though your eyes are closed. So don't do any of that. So with that said, listen, I'm just going to put that link up again so that everybody, please go and visit Master Co's website with the Pranic healing. And again, you can find the bath soaps there, which I use, and I actually really use those during events and during a lot of stress to clean out the negative energy. So he's got a couple of different salt soaps, that is. So go on there, check those out if they're in stock, because I know that they used to
run out a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Listen, it's great. At least you know that they're going out and making a difference in the world, right? With all those little things that we do. So I just want to say thank you again for taking the time. I want to thank you for not just what you're doing here, but what you're doing out in the world, because I see you often on doing your lives in the meditations to heal the world and send out positive energy. So, on behalf of myself and everyone in my audience, I just want to say thank you from all of us.
It's an honor to be of service. Thank you.
It's an honor to have you and to serve alongside you here. So thank you for that. Any last words? Because again, I want to be respectful of your time. I know last time we really went way over the.
What's new, right?
Yeah, we went almost 2 hours. So I'm going to be more respectful this time of you.
Oh, it's fine. That's what we do. Yeah. Well, if there's anything I could share, is something like this. We have a tendency to focus on the external world and not on our internal world. And if we just take this time, when you can go anywhere anyway, or even if you can, to really take the time to focus on our inner world, do some house cleaning, put our inner world in order, your thoughts, your emotions, just meditate. Okay, what are the insecurities we have? What are the negative thoughts we have that is causing us to react to the external world? and taking the time to understand it, flush it out, replace it with what's good, I think you're using and taking advantage of this time when you can go anywhere to improve yourself, change your inner self, so that when this thing opens up, you actually come out stronger, better than you were before. Rather than saying, "Oh yeah, I was stuck at home and what the heck am I?" Then in that case, then you actually made it worse than make it better. But if you take it this time and really do some inner house cleaning and really focus on your spiritual practice and your spirituality, not religion, spirituality, that you are a spiritual being having a physical body and a physical experience, you're empowering yourself so that when things open up and become more normal, you'll be a different person and be able to make a difference in people's lives.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Couldn't have said it any better myself. So again, thank you so much, and just don't go away. As you know, we'll chat offline for a minute. I just want to thank everybody that came on here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for all the likes, the loves. Thank you for sharing this video with all your friends. I saw so many of you tagging your friends on here. Thank you for that. And I'm sure that they'll thank you as well, because every time that Master Co comes on here, it's a gift and it's a blessing. And I know I feel great right now. Just from having done those 30 or 40 minutes of meditation. So thank you again for coming, and join us on YouTube as well. So you can please go to my YouTube channel. You just type in #GetUpNGrow, my name, and watch and subscribe, and you can share it from there as well. So thank you again for watching, and remember, my friends, that in life it is not about how many times you fall. It's about getting up after every fall. And it's in falling down that we learn. It's in getting up that we grow. And every single time we fall, we have the opportunity to get up and grow, and then help somebody else when we're up. Appreciate all of you. Master Co, thank you so much again for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for watching. And we will see you tomorrow, where we have our mutual friend, Jan Hargrave, coming back again. So look forward to that tomorrow night. Thank you again. I appreciate you all, and good night.
Take care.
Ciao for now. Bye.